Last night, you closed your eyes, slipped into sleep, and suddenly you were flying over endless mountains or maybe running down a dark alley with something chasing you. You woke up sweating, heart racing. But here's the mystery. Why did your mind create that world in the first place? What if I told you, your dreams are not random nonsense? They are secret messages from your subconscious mind. And if you learn to decode them, you might discover truths about yourself that you've been ignoring for years. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see your dreams in a way you never have before. Dreams are often dismissed as strange, meaningless stories our brain tells while we sleep. But psychologists, neuroscientists, and philosophers have long argued that dreams are far from meaningless. They are, in fact, the language of the subconscious mind. Think of your subconscious as the vast hidden part of your mental iceberg. While your conscious mind is busy making decisions, solving problems, and dealing with daily tasks, your subconscious is quietly observing everything. Your fears, your desires, your memories, even the emotions you don't want to face. During the day, much of this information is suppressed or ignored. But at night, when you sleep, the gates of the conscious mind loosen. The subconscious finally gets a chance to speak. And it doesn't use words or logical arguments. Instead, it speaks in symbols, images, and emotions. This is why dreams feel mysterious and often surreal. They are coded messages from the hidden layers of your psyche. For example, if you are under pressure in life but refuse to acknowledge it, your subconscious might create a dream where you're trapped in a small, suffocating room. That dream isn't random. It's your inner self telling you. You feel stuck. You need space. If you're secretly longing for freedom, your dream might take you into the skies, allowing you to fly. These symbolic stories are like riddles, urging you to look deeper. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists, believed dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. He argued that every dream carries a purpose, to balance your psyche, reveal blind spots, and guide you toward wholeness. For Jung, ignoring your dreams was like ignoring a letter written to you by your own soul. But why symbols? Why doesn't the subconscious just give us a clear message? The answer lies in how the human brain processes emotions. Many of our strongest feelings, fear, guilt, shame, desire, are uncomfortable to face directly. The subconscious disguises them in symbolic form so that we can approach them safely. A monster in your dream may not be a real monster. It might be your anxiety about failure. A locked door might represent opportunities you feel are closed off. In this way, dreams act as psychological metaphors. They bypass your rational defenses and deliver truths in images that demand interpretation. Modern neuroscience also supports this idea. Studies show that dreaming is linked with memory consolidation and emotional regulation. In other words, your brain is not only sorting through daily experiences, but also making sense of deeper emotional conflicts. This explains why, after a vivid dream, you might wake up with a strange sense of clarity, as though your mind worked on a problem behind the scenes while you slept. Let's put it this way. If your conscious mind is a storyteller of your waking life, then your subconscious is a hidden author who shapes the themes and meanings in the background. And dreams are the draft pages where this hidden author scribbles notes, warnings, and reminders. So, when we say dreams are the language of the subconscious, it means every strange image, every surreal event is a coded message. And like any language, it requires patience and attention to understand. Now imagine this. If you start paying attention to your dreams, writing them down, reflecting on their symbols, you are essentially learning to communicate with the deepest part of yourself. You're no longer ignoring your inner voice. You're listening to it. And that can change everything. Your self-awareness, your relationships, your decisions, even your sense of purpose. Think of how powerful that is. Every night, without effort, your subconscious sends you a message. Most people wake up and forget it within minutes. But those who pay attention gain access to a hidden dialogue with their own mind. It's like unlocking a secret diary that only you can read. So the next time you dream, don't dismiss it as random. Ask yourself, what is my subconscious trying to tell me? What emotion is being expressed here? What truth am I ignoring in my waking life? Because once you start asking those questions, you begin to see your dreams not as puzzles, but as guides. Now that we understand dreams as the secret language of the subconscious, the next step is to look at the alphabet of that language, the symbols. Across cultures, religions, and even scientific studies, certain dream images appear again and again. And while every dream is deeply personal, many of these recurring symbols carry universal meanings. Let's begin with one of the most common, falling. Almost everyone at some point has experienced a dream where they are tumbling down from a height, off a cliff, a building, or simply into darkness. Falling often reflects a sense of insecurity, fear of failure, or a loss of control in waking life. Perhaps you are anxious about losing a job, ending a relationship, or facing a situation where stability is slipping away. Your subconscious uses a sensation of falling to mirror that emotional freefall you feel inside. Another powerful symbol is flying. Unlike falling, flying dreams often represent freedom, ambition, and transcendence. They may point to a desire to rise above limitations, to explore new possibilities, or to experience life without restrictions. But flying can also carry dual meanings. If you feel anxious while flying your dream, it could suggest that the newfound freedom or responsibility in your waking life feels overwhelming, like you're afraid of crashing down. One of the most unsettling dreams is being chased. People often wake up breathless, heart pounding, as if they had truly been hunted. In the symbolic language of dreams, being chased reflects avoidance. It's usually not about the pursuer itself, but about what you are running from in your waking life. Maybe it's a problem you don't want to face, an unresolved conflict, or even a part of yourself you are not ready to acknowledge. The subconscious paints this avoidance as a chase. The more you run in real life, the more vividly you are chasing your dreams. Next is a symbol almost everyone recognizes: teeth falling out. It sounds bizarre, but it's one of the most reported dream experiences worldwide. Psychologists interpret this as connected anxiety about appearance, communication, or aging. Teeth are tied to our sense of confidence, power, and how we present ourselves. When they crumble or fall in a dream, it may reflect worries about how others perceive you, or fears of losing strength, beauty, or control over your image. Another deeply symbolic image is the house. Houses in dreams often represent the self. The rooms are different parts of your personality. A locked room may suggest hidden memories or repressed emotions. A collapsing house may reflect a crumbling sense of identity or stability. Walking through unfamiliar rooms in a dream might reveal areas of yourself you've yet to explore. Carl Jung believed that when we dream of houses, we are often exploring the architecture of our own psyche. Water, too, carries profound meaning. Calm. Clear water often symbolizes peace, clarity, or emotional flow. Stormy seas, however, might represent inner turmoil, unresolved conflict, or emotions that feel too powerful to manage. Drowning in water often reflects being overwhelmed in waking life, while swimming or floating peacefully suggests adaptability and emotional balance. Then there are dreams of exams or tests, surprisingly common even years after finishing school. These usually represent feelings of being judged or evaluated, either by others or by yourself. They may appear when you're about to face a major challenge, make a big decision, or prove yourself in some area of life. The dream reflects the pressure and anxiety of being tested, even if no literal exam exists. Another striking symbol is death. Many people fear dreams of death, assuming they predict literal endings. But in dream language, death rarely means physical death. Instead, it symbolizes transformation, change, or the end of one chapter in life. Dreaming of your own death can signify personal growth, the shedding of old habits, or the subconscious preparing you for a new beginning. Dreaming of someone else's death may point to changing dynamics in a relationship or your feelings about that person evolving. One more universal symbol is nakedness. To find yourself naked in a public place, feeling exposed and embarrassed, often points to vulnerability and fear of judgment. It's the subconscious revealing your anxiety about being seen too clearly, about others discovering your flaws or weaknesses. But in some cases, nudity in dreams can also symbolize authenticity and liberation, the shedding of masks and pretenses. These symbols are not fixed like words in a dictionary. Context matters. For instance, dreaming of flying could be exhilarating for one person, but terrifying for another. The same symbol can carry multiple shades of meaning depending on how it feels in the dream and what is happening in your waking life. That's why dream interpretation isn't about memorizing a chart. It's about combining universal patterns with personal experience. It's also important to remember that dreams often blend symbols. You might dream of falling while being chased or of a collapsing house filled with water. These layered images suggest that your subconscious is expressing complex, overlapping emotions. Each element adds a new dimension, just as words combine to form sentences. When viewed this way, dreams become more than just entertainment for the sleeping mind. They are coded narratives, weaving together universal archetypes and personal emotions. By learning to recognize these recurring symbols, falling, flying, being chased, losing teeth, houses, water, tests, death, nakedness, you begin to build a vocabulary of the subconscious. And the more fluent you become in this symbolic language, the more you can engage with your own inner world. Instead of dismissing a dream as weird, you start asking, what truth is hidden in this symbol? What part of me is speaking through this image? That simple shift in perspective transforms dreams from random experiences into meaningful messages. While dream symbols give us a shared vocabulary, the true depth of dreams lies in how they mirror our own unresolved emotions and the reflections of daily life. Dreams are not detached fantasies. They are woven directly out of our personal experiences, conflicts, and feelings. In many ways, they act like a mirror that doesn't just show the surface, but the hidden shadows underneath. Think about this. Every day, you encounter stress, desires, disappointments, and anxieties. Some you process consciously. You talk about them, solve problems, or find closure. But others linger unacknowledged. You may feel angry at someone but suppress it because confrontation feels risky. You may feel insecure about a decision but cover it with confidence in public. These emotions don't vanish just because you avoid them. They sink into the subconscious, waiting to be expressed. And at night, they return as dreams. For instance, if you had an argument with a friend but brushed it aside without resolution, you might dream of being trapped in a room with that person, unable to escape. The dream is not random. It is your subconscious forcing you to confront the unresolved tension. Similarly, someone who hides their stress during the day might dream of earthquakes, storms, or collapsing buildings, symbols of instability that reflect their inner unrest. Daily life also leaves imprints that show up almost immediately in dreams. Psychologists call this the day residue effect. Fragments of conversations, worries, or even fleeting thoughts from your waking hours get stitched into the fabric of your dreams. You may dream about a task at work, an unfinished project, or a social encounter that made you uncomfortable. The subconscious takes these fragments and dramatizes them, often exaggerating them into surreal stories to capture the emotional weight behind them. But dreams go deeper than replaying surface stress. They often highlight emotions you actively avoid. A person who prides themselves on being confident might dream of failing exams or being humiliated in public, revealing a hidden insecurity they never admit to themselves. Someone who suppresses grief might dream of dead relatives or endless funerals, signaling that mourning is still incomplete. In this way, dreams act as emotional messengers, reminding us that what we refuse to face in daylight will still find its way back in the night. Carl Jung referred to this as a shadow, the hidden part of the psyche where we bury qualities, emotions, or desires we don't want to accept. Dreams are one of the primary ways the shadow makes itself visible. You may dream of hostile figures, monsters, or strangers who frighten you. Often, these figures are not external enemies, but projections of your own repressed emotions, anger, jealousy, guilt, or vulnerability. By dramatizing them in the dream world, your subconscious forces you to recognize what you are unwilling to see in waking life. Another dimension of unresolved emotions in dreams is how they repeat themselves. Many people experience recurring dreams, the same scene, the same fear, appearing again and again. This is a clear sign of an unresolved issue. The subconscious repeats the message until the conscious mind begins to pay attention. For example, someone who repeatedly dreams of missing trains or flights may be struggling with fears of lost opportunities or a sense of always being too late in life. These dreams persist like alarms that won't turn off until the emotional issue is addressed. Dreams also serve a healing function. By allowing suppressed emotions to surface symbolically, they give the psyche a chance to process them indirectly. Consider someone who is grieving but refuses to cry. In their dreams, they might meet the lost loved one, have conversations, or relive moments together. These dreams, while painful, provide an outlet for grief that the waking self resists. In a way, the subconscious keeps working on emotional wounds at night, even when the conscious mind insists on silence. Neuroscience supports this perspective. Studies on REM sleep, the stage when dreams are most vivid, show that the brain is highly active in emotional regulation during this time. The amygdala, which processes fear and emotions, is especially engaged, while the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of the brain, becomes less dominant. This means that dreams prioritize emotion over logic, surfacing feelings that daily rational thinking often suppresses. That's why dreams can feel raw, exaggerated, and deeply emotional. They are less about facts and more about feelings. There's also a profound link between unresolved emotions and physical sensations in dreams. Stress or anxiety in waking life often manifests as dreams of being suffocated, drowning, or trapped. Anger may surface as violent confrontations or natural disasters. Feelings of shame or guilt may take the form of being exposed, chased, or punished. In each case, the subconscious transforms intangible emotions into vivid experiences, making them harder to ignore. What makes this fascinating is that dreams don't simply copy reality. They amplify it. A minor worry in waking life may explode into a nightmare scenario. A fleeting attraction may unfold into elaborate romantic dreams. This amplification is intentional. The subconscious exaggerates to grab your attention, to ensure you recognize emotions you might otherwise dismiss. Ultimately, unresolved emotions are like whispers during the day that turn into loud voices at night. If you fail to listen while awake, your dreams will ensure the message reaches you in another form. And while these dreams may feel confusing or overwhelming, they are not enemies. They are guides, pointing toward the very areas of life and self that need acknowledgement, healing, or change. By recognizing this, dreams stop being random and become a kind of psychological therapy that happens every night. Each unresolved emotion expressed in a dream is an opportunity, a chance to understand yourself better, to confront the unspoken, and to bring hidden feelings into the light of consciousness. So far, we have explored how dreams are the symbolic language of the subconscious, how common symbols reveal universal patterns, and how unresolved emotions from daily life surface through dreams. But this knowledge is not meant to stay theoretical. The true value lies in applying it, in using dream interpretation as a tool for personal growth, self-awareness, and psychological balance. The first practical step is simply to pay attention. Most people forget their dreams within minutes of waking. This is not because the dreams are unimportant, but because the conscious mind quickly shifts its focus to the day ahead. To engage with your dreams, you must train yourself to remember them. Keeping a dream journal by your bed and writing down even fragments upon waking creates a bridge between the unconscious and conscious mind. Over time, this practice strengthens recall and reveals recurring themes. Once dreams are recorded, the next step is reflection. Ask yourself, what emotions were strongest in the dream? Fear, joy, shame, excitement? The emotional tone often carries more meaning than the literal story. A dream of standing on a stage may not be about performing, but about the anxiety of being seen and judged. The details matter, but emotions provide the key to interpretation. Beyond emotions, look for patterns. Do you often dream of being chased, missing deadlines, or finding yourself lost in unfamiliar places? Recurring symbols point to persistent issues that your subconscious is urging you to confront. By recognizing these patterns, you gain insight into themes shaping your inner world. Perhaps anxiety about failure, feelings of inadequacy, or a desire for escape. Dream interpretation also benefits from examining the context of your waking life. A dream cannot be separated from the dreamer's reality. For example, dreaming of drowning may hold one meaning for a student overwhelmed by exams, and another for a parent feeling crushed by responsibilities. The symbols are universal, but their meaning is deeply personal. This is why no dream dictionary can fully decode your dreams for you. Interpretation, requires combining shared archetypes with your individual circumstances. Another useful technique is the dialogue with the dream. This means treating dream symbols as parts of yourself and asking them questions. If you dream of being chased, ask, what does a pursuer represent in my life? If you dream of a locked door, ask, what opportunity or memory am I keeping shut? This reflective approach turns a dream into a conversation with the subconscious, rather than a puzzle to be solved mechanically. Some psychologists recommend the method of active imagination, introduced by Carl Jung. In this practice, you take a vivid dream image and, while awake, allow yourself to imagine interacting with it. For instance, if you dream of standing before a shadowy figure, you might imagine asking who it is and why it appears. This exercise allows hidden aspects of the psyche to express themselves consciously, fostering integration rather than repression. Dream interpretation is also practical in the way it aids emotional processing. Many people experience dreams after traumatic events or during times of high stress. While these dreams can be unsettling, they serve as a natural therapy. By revisiting painful experiences in symbolic form, the subconscious attempts to heal. Paying attention to these dreams provides clues to what your psyche is struggling with, and engaging with them can accelerate recovery and emotional resilience. On a more everyday level, dream interpretation can guide decision-making. A person facing a difficult choice might dream of two diverging paths, one clear and one dark. The dream does not provide an answer, but it reveals how the subconscious perceives the options. This added perspective helps you recognize hidden fears or desires influencing your choices. Dreams highlight not just what you think consciously, but what you truly feel deep down. Dreams can also act as reminders of neglected aspects of life. A dream of being in a childhood home might signal a need to reconnect with forgotten values or simpler joys. A dream of creative activity, like painting or music, might reflect a suppressed longing for self-expression. In this sense, dreams become guides to wholeness, pointing out areas of yourself that you have overlooked or undervalued. Interpreting dreams, however, requires humility. They are not literal prophecies or fortune-telling devices. Instead, they are symbolic reflections of the psyche. The danger lies in over-literalizing or forcing rigid meanings onto them. A balanced approach recognizes that dreams are metaphorical, layered, and open to multiple interpretations. Their purpose is not to predict the future, but to illuminate the present, to reveal what is already within you, waiting to be acknowledged. Another practical application lies in creative inspiration. History is filled with examples of dreams sparking breakthroughs. The chemist Friedrich Kekulé dreamed of a snake biting its tail, leading him to discover the ring structure of the benzene molecule. Writers, artists, and musicians have drawn entire works from dream imagery. By paying attention to your dreams, you may uncover creative ideas that your waking mind could never generate. Finally, dream interpretation fosters self-integration. Every person carries contradictions, rational and emotional, light and shadow, desire and fear. Dreams provide a stage where these parts of the self meet, often in dramatic, confusing, or symbolic ways. By exploring them, you gradually integrate these conflicting aspects, moving toward greater psychological harmony. Dreams remind us that we are not divided beings but complex, multifaceted individuals whose wholeness emerges when all parts are acknowledged. In essence, the practical use of dream interpretation is about listening to the voice within, not in a mystical sense, but as an ongoing dialogue between conscious and subconscious. Each dream is an invitation to reflect, to process, to heal, and to grow. When taken seriously, they become more than fleeting night stories. They transform into valuable tools for understanding who we are, what we need, and how we can move forward with greater awareness. In the end, dreams are not meaningless illusions or random noise from a sleeping brain. They are the symbolic language of the subconscious, the hidden voice of your inner self. Every fall, every chase, every shadow, every burst of flight is your mind's way of showing you the truths you avoid, the emotions you suppress, and the possibilities you long for. When we learn to listen, dreams become more than strange night stories. They transform into mirrors, revealing the unresolved parts of our lives. They become guides, pointing us toward healing and self-discovery. and they become teachers, reminding us that the answers we seek outside are often already within. So tonight, when you close your eyes and step into that mysterious world, remember, your subconscious is speaking. Are you ready to listen? If you found this journey into the psychology of dreams valuable, don't forget to subscribe to Whispers of Psychology for more explorations of the mind. Share your most unforgettable dream in the comment below. Let's decode the language of the subconscious together.